Hello, it is an honor for me to be here at this show in Helsinki, even at the cost of my missing the first game of Japan World Cup, which I found out we lost soon after I stepped off the plane. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. Yeah. Just a moment. For those of you who are not familiar with DeNA, let me tell you a little about the company, very briefly. We are a global internet company. We are very active in many different sectors, and mobile game is our strongest revenue engine. We made $2 billion revenues, $2 billion revenue last fiscal year, and most of them come from mobile games. And the first thing that I'd like to tell you is Asian market is enormously big. And as Tommy and Ilke mentioned, I would like to talk about these three big and different markets in Asia, Japan, South Korea, and China. Let me show how big it is. If you look at Google Play growth ranking by country, Japan is the biggest market, and South Korea is ranked number 2. In the iOS App Store market, the number 1 market is also Japan, and China comes in number 3. It would be difficult to estimate the market size of China precisely with the different reasons. However, it could be much bigger than this number. But the Asian market is difficult to crack. The Asian market is very different compared to Western market. In addition, each Asian market is very unique. For example, as you may know about China, in China, Facebook is not available. Twitter is not available. WhatsApp or Line or any instant messenger app is not available. And even the Google Play Store are not available in China. So the best practices in Western market don't work in China at all. Instead, there are hundreds of Android markets or App Store markets in China instead of original Google Play. iOS only takes up a quarter of the total market share, and half of them use jailbroken iPhone and do not access the genuine App Store. So the key to win in China is to deal with some of the major Chinese application marketplaces like that. About Korea, looking at South Korea, I'm sure you know about the messenger app Kakao, which has been the dominant platform there. And in addition to that, the role of the publishers, the middleware, the role of the publisher is getting much more important compared to the cases in other countries. There are several strong Korean publishers like CJ&M, WeMade, or 463, and so on, and a few international publishers like Gumi, DeNA Korea, and so on. They show their value by providing deep localization and marketing. In addition, the Korean way of marketing is very unique. One game used a BMW, maybe 3 Series, as a real incentive to install the game. Yeah. So with all that in mind, you need to collaborate with a local publisher to get the localization and marketing right. And what about Japan? Well, I feel like I should warn you, do not come to Japan alone. For example, Japan has a reputation for its unique or maybe strange culture. Yeah, here's a screenshot of one smash hit card game in Japan, whose revenue is over $10 million per month. Let me try to explain what's going on here. These sexy girls you see represent an aircraft carrier or battleship in this game. And I admit this seems very strange. Yeah. But it actually combines some otaku elements, geek elements of Japanese culture. In that way, it's not surprising that it attracted some really engaging users. These are other games that use the same strategy. It's another example. Yeah, like that. Of course, not all Japanese people want to play these types of games. As for me, I don't like such artworks. But for the developers, they can be successful as long as they attract highly engaged players. And one way is to use this type of art. And how can you get those highly engaged users? Some people may say Facebook is the best solution, but a Facebook guy recently told me that very few Japanese gamers would like to connect their games to Facebook, although most of them have Facebook accounts. I don't know the exact number of Candy Crush Saga in Japan. Please ask Tommy. However, the average number is maybe less than 20%. So if Facebook isn't the solution, Facebook is not the solution, what's this? So one of the answers is mass marketing, particularly TV commercials. It's the TV commercials of Candy Crush Saga in Japan. And actually, the importance of TV commercial cannot be overstated. However, it costs a lot. Yeah, it's an example of Crash Plan in Japan. And even if you spend a lot, but the timing is wrong, it's a complete waste. This graph allows the successful example of Persian Dragons, which is one of the most outstanding titles in smartphone gaming, and whose revenue is still over $100 million per month. Yeah. However, if it is too early in the game cycle, most incoming users just have the game right away. And if it's too late, you'll miss the chance to get enough new users. And we DeNA finally learned the right timing through years of experience and hundreds of millions marketing investment. So now you are starting to understand how diverse the Asian markets are, not only compared to Western market, but also from each other. DeNA has been operating throughout Asia, and we have successfully delivered hit products to each market. In China, we successfully deal with the major Chinese application market places like Tencent or 360 or so, and so our NBA game recently ranked in the top grossing charts. And in Korea, we are currently preparing for several upcoming titles with local developers. And in Japan, DeNA is one of the most successful companies, and we have launched hundreds of media campaigns over the last 2 years. As I have already mentioned, we have used TV commercials and other advertisement strategies to promote and sustain our hit games. Despite all the differences, there is one common thing in all three Asian markets. While the number of the DAUs is not so huge compared to Western games, there exists a large number of highly engaged users in each country. It's crucially important to attract these highly engaged users, even in China. This is one example of DeNA. Kite Royale is one of the most successful titles in DeNA, and although it has been more than 4 years after its release, the revenue has been still growing by keeping highly engaged users, steadily generating over $5 million per month. We are in the business of making games that players love, but we cannot do it alone. So my message today is you need a local partner to be successful in Asia. We at DeNA are one option. We love working with developers. We believe that the best strategy is combining the perfect, appropriate ad with mechanics that attract highly engaged users. Let me show you some examples. This is Blood Brothers and Marble Wolf Heroes, and they stayed in the top grossing on the US for a long time. They are able to combine the appropriate ad and game mechanics to attract a huge number of highly engaged users. We believe that this can be one of the winning strategies for Western developers. So last year alone, we worked with more than 50 developers in 18 countries, and we see so much potential in these borderless partnerships. If you'd like to know more, please come to our booth here. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.